Comme si, comme ça. Ça va bien, très bien. Bonjour, monsieur. Comment t'appelles-tu? Hey, that's French people. French. Do you speak French? Mr. Matovu was my first French teacher in P7. Alliance Français, Alliance Français. They introduced French as a language in 1987. Buganda Road Primary School. Remember, people, Mr. Matovu teaching us French. Bonjour, monsieur. Comment ça va bien? Bon après-midi. Comment ça va bien? Whatever. I was very much picking up French. And I would do French in my senior one. Mr. Karangwa, Busoga College Muiri. Yes, senior one, senior two, then senior three, we dropped it. Many of us. I dropped French for literature in English. I was very good in English. I remember. Mrs. Harriet Nakaombe. How are you, my brother?
Good, yes. You're right. Why then?
Mrs. Harriet Nakaombe. I understand she's here in the UK. I'm not sure about that. And Mr. Not Oriongol. We used to have a literature teacher. The name has gone. I liked him. He made me love literature. The name has gone. The tall teacher. Yalimuwanvu, Mr. Ani, or something. Owori? No, not Owori. That's not the name. I remember the name. But anyway, that's going back many years ago. French. And you see, our educational system at the time was based on the colonial setup. And then you had to drop. We did, in my senior one, we were doing 14 subjects. 14. English, biology, chemistry, science, history, geography, agriculture, music, art, blah, 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 blah. So by the time you reach the candidate class, senior 4, you are left with about 9 subjects, but some students did even 11. 11 subjects for senior 4. That's many years ago, 1991. And I did my O-levels. Following my suspension, I had to return back to do my O-levels. And I had passed first grade. But I already had the letter from the headmaster not to return for A-levels. I was returning back to Muiri for A-levels, senior 5 and senior 6. But it was done. And that would, I've already said this, that changed the direction of my life. I had to find a school myself. I had to pay my tuition fees, everything. My mom was upset with me. Remember, Mr. Kayondo was a personal friend of our family. Many people didn't know this. Mr. Kayondo had gone to school with my dad in Mango. Mango Senior School. For him, he took the direction of education, and at his first placement, he was the headmaster of Kampala High School before he went to Budo, where he was a deputy. No, he went to Budo to teach. He was teaching in Budo. He was teaching geography, one of those subjects, history or geography. Then he was made a deputy headmaster. And then from there he would be sent to Busoga College Muiri. Remember Busoga college where it was dealing with strikes. Abana ba striking and there used to be so many strikes. That was during the Ngobi era. There was a lot of issues with Busoga College Mwiri based on the Church of Uganda, Baba Mose, based on the Ibiali Biwanvunyo, who owned the school. Was it the traditional kingdom of Busoga, the land on which the school is based? They wanted to merge Busoga College with the one Yange girls. That is in the 80s, you don't know. And I think Bishop Bamoze, Cyprus Bamoze, yajange mwere for the PTA meetings, put his foot down. He said there is nothing that is going to be done to this school if I'm alive. And that put him at loggerheads with many people in Busoga. Binasange mwere in 1988, that's what was going in the school. So the students used to strike. They banned, they blah, blah, blah. They went on protests and all. You know, back in the school, back in the day, schools were very political. Schools were a breeding ground. You talk about Makerere University. Department of Political Science. That department was removed. They no longer teach those courses. Kakati eno wansi mugundi. They want to semester civics. Civics. If people don't know these things, civic education was taught in primary 7, and also when you went along. By the time I'm in O level, they have removed it. 1992, 91, around there. Civics. Civics, people. Civic education. They taught you about the country. The political patriotism and all that nonsense. President Milton Obote. So, in other words, the government of the day, Katifetu waliba breeding gundi, template, YAM 7, 10-point program, temubi money. 10-point program. Remember those blue books from the NRM Secretariat? Every school, every student. Ngamoino busoma. The 10-point program was like a dossier. Maybe into byali mukomogondi. Common man is a chatter. Akataba kwa common man is a chatter. Nze twali tukalina na waka. Aka 1960, 66, 67, 68. The Pigeonhole Constitution. And that one yali UPC youth wing. Bebali mugondi erugogonga balaunchinga ebintu ebyo nabyo nane bateka be statues ku parliament. You know that statue of Obote which used to be on the parliament, they removed it 86 no, it was 85 when Tito Okero took over during the time we had the state of emergency. Bachisikayo chi statue, it was like a head of the president. As you entered the parliament of Uganda, there used to be a very big statue up on the gate. Maybe that be mutama nyanga. Nga nabagamba nti grandioso nizo bawensi bagita Azerbaijan. You Google about Azerbaijan, mujja kulaba ebintu ebiri mu nsi eyo nga bikwewuunyisa. Baina gabombe bombe suji baina bita okay ne North Korea chechimu nga muino bisinza muino unakole mugenda bwe munaba na we temulabye pitu zinasoma politics. Arenze politics simulimu. It is a bit of a nonsensical. Akati we talk about education today. Nagala mujjukire kegusi byasoma. Bajjawo civic ed abana ba Makerere University kamba wa manya ba Nobert Mao, their generation baromushana. Hey, you people, you haven't seen temunnalaba baana balina okukula kulungi. Nze that time I was a Michael West in Makerere University. Lumu baatusibirayo gates zonna za university teri kufuluma, abaana beekalakaasa. Bintu bingi nnyo ebyalinga abamu abasira bonna nze bwe mbalaba kati mikwano gyange nga naye musajja gwe wabulirawa. Twali tumanyi naawe oli campus at that time. Nali mu Olevo nga nkookinga wa Lugujo, taata wa Sembatya Ronald. Sembatya oba alibiddawa, yali mu Brewer House. Sembatya Busoga College Muiri, Brewer House. Their dad ye Professor Lugujo nga coaching mathematics. Tuvange wa Lugujo nga tugenda ku Guild Canteen opposite the Dan Rukares. Babelanga ku flat ya yali opposite Guild Canteen. Daniel yali classmate one Rukare Daniel. He was a very good athlete mu primary. Yali mu Martin's house over Starling sijjukira. But it was very, I used to dress against Matt Gondi, Dan Rukare, ne baganda babala abakulu. Kati abakulu bali mu class ne ba Mulondo. You remember the Mulondos? Ronald Arnold yali mu house yange. Arnold nkulamusiza musajja wange. You always check on me. Arnold ambuuzaako. Nakoma mulaba mu 85 ye ali mu P7 ngaze ali mu P5. Yes, it was a sports days in Awangulya medals Billy certificates. My mom came to the Makerere University Sports Ground. Hey, long jump, 400 meters really. I remember Narine Robert Lumu, more really 4x4 really athletics running. And we won the first. We were the first in that relay. Then I went for long jump, and I win. Long jump in the sand. 1995. My mom was so proud of me. I remember that day. I think that she was about to retire. One of the guests of honor ali mu tent, mama wange nga abasomesa bamwagala. She was executive, Uganda Development Corporation. Laba bwempangula. So I was the darling. And when I was put on these steps, 1, 2, 3. Number 1 step, Patrick Kagumba. The mom is there, and the mom, she was so proud. Those are things I remember about my mom. Very many moments of accolade. She was very young, 85. My mom was 20, 26, 27. 26, yeah, where Anzala is 16. Mercedes Benz parking wali mu sports ground. I've struggled to find the kind of woman who can even be in my mom's shoes. Gwanzi ne mukazi wange bwenda ebintu byakola ndabanga biri average. Haye ngaine ebiri zikomeno. Zikola what? Zikola what? Ebizigo biva mu America. Ebikola enviri ze. Bamuleetera suitcases ez'ebintu ebirungi okubeera ndani. Olwo kati drapers, departmental store ereta buli omu kyayambala, Diamond Trusty, nga you want to stand out. Era ne bwembalaga ebifaananyi mama wange gwezi ayambalanga zonna London exclusive. So nga tuleetera abasomesa amangi nabagamba ekintu we used to bring logistics for the teachers, braiders, mechi n'amagi. Okumanya nti no twali beyond Kubanga twalinanga zi deep freezers awaka. Imagine in the 80s nga tuzaziri frozen chicken. Era baleeta ebintu ebyo mu Uganda mu hatcheries division. Kubanga they were expanding the hatcheries and the poultry farms, then they would start processing nga batunda enkoko eziri frozen. Byonna byaliwo Erutete. My mom was behind nga balina abadaachi. Uganda Development Corporation. Mama wange chief executive of Gold secretary. Nga bali mu budget wet. Ina tibikyaliyo. Muli enkoko eziri frozen mwazi muzirabyeko. Muli azino ze mumanyula sijuze mukongola broilers. It's my mom bazitanga zi rosterio. Nzijukira ekigambo ekyo. They are the ones who introduced broiler chickens in Uganda. Enkoko eza white. Mwalyanga nkoko nganda. Ze mwalyanga bannayuganda. Nga bazita nkoko nzungu. So they roll out that Chava mu Uganda Ranchers scheme in 1977. Tata wange yalimu. Naamini abagamba amini yali mukwano gwa muzeyi wange. Bagironchinga mu Eastern Uganda. Ne baleeta ente enzungu okuva mu Britain. Bazita New Jersey. Mubimanyi ebintu ebyo. One whole year there were 2 cargo planes ferrying cattle from the UK to Uganda. Nga mulimu ne whiskey run. Whiskey n'emyenge egy'ebbeeyi egyavanga Scotland. Mubimanyi ebintu ebyo. Mubimanyi. 1977, 1978. Correct. Era omwenge baguyitanga VAT. 69, wine bamuyitanga Conceria something. Very, very exclusive wine. Gundi gwe yanywanga. Amin. Amin yanywanga omwenge. Temukimanyi ekyo. So voilà, they became friends in 1972 because the wedding, my dad's wedding, was the talk of the whole country. Kati, during the wedding, imagine John and Elomu Gobagamba and Tamini, yali personal friend one, I don't know. Because they all met at my dad's wedding in 72. You know, of course, the began a mass of Uganda. So, and he turns up. He did not enter my Idi Amin. Yakoma Bweru, Yabala Musabali Bweru. He just congratulated them on their wedding. And he was very proud, and they had the pictures. You know, they do the pictures and all that. Yeah. Mwana Moto, 24 years. And that would explain the 2 receptions. There was a reception at Silver Springs Hotel. Silver Springs Hotel, people, those who knew Kampala, pre-independence and post-independence, it was not a go area. That is where the first reception was, and then the next reception was at the indoor stadiums. Ngane band ekuba small world band tatange bagitekamu ne sente mwe mugenda okuva frigo later on band zaaliwe zakubanga mu hotel nabagamba ekintu ekyo. They used to play in hotels and all that, but of course this was an African outfit. Abakongo mwe bali mu music oyo. So bintu bingi nnyo ebyalina influence ku byali bigenda mu maaso mu Uganda. Era nze kinnuma nnyo nti people I do a video. Oh yeah, it's recording. You see, yeah. Then I put on YouTube. Oh. So in 1972, the mayor of Kampala, I told you this, Mr. Walusimbi Mpanga, Hey, you're talking. Mr. Mpanga yawolako ne Kampala City Council sente. Balongo said the local council was bankrupt. Those are the kind of people I'm talking about. Now wola sente zasula abakozi okumala omwaka mulamba. Bansasula later on. That is the Walusibi's garage. Many things. So the Walusibis, one of their sons is my good friend here in the UK. They went to Bitwakula. That is how to cheat the elite who were post-independence. Kati Walusimi Mpanga ne Museveni amwogerako nti yamulete Kampala Walusimbi Mpanga n'agula ne Museveni engatte ezaasooka peya y'engatto ne wava munno naye they have a connection to the Mr. Walusimbi. Yali musajja Muganda from a very, very well-established family. Kiraba? Yes, mudde mu video mu bunoonyi Museveni yennyini yakyogera nti omusajja Omuganda eyamuleeta yasubulanga nte mwankole. He was in so many things, I think. And the same story would relate with Gordon Wavamuno, who later on was my dad's business partner. But Andika Spear Tours and Travel, the tour agency. Later on, they would sell it to Mr. Galiwango, Uncle Galiwango. Nebakola Hippo Tours and Travel. It was a very, very powerful travel agency. Kakati later on, Hippo Tours and Travel. Mwemugeno bagana juguza Mrs. Dungu petrol stations on Nezile Wandege yao. Waliwo yali opposite the veterinary. Neyo kugundi shero yokugundi ewa mulago roundabout zaali za Dungu. Mr. Dungu yali mu transport nga alina zi trailer lodges zi shipping emwanyi to Mombasa. Uncle Dungu ng'abeera Muyenga era nzijukira ne mu lutalo taata wange yeekwekako ewa mwami Dungu ng'olwo tuli mu hotel ku Mase hotel waawe Wandege yawo because ebintu byali biwanvu nnyo. We wanted to kill my dad nga bagamba nti yalina sente yatereka sente z'abayeekera. Hey, people sibabulyanga bintu bino. Yes, era binalina oba mwami Dungu. Kakati mukyala we Robina, Aunt Robina is the name? Naalongo, kale nzimanyira Naalongo. Naggulawo the only IATA International Air and Travel Agency approved travel bureau nga yeetunda tiketi za British Airways. Lumu Street gyeggwerayo ekwate ku Entebbe Road. Ekizimbe kyo kyatundanga bi fire extinguisher Fire Marshal Uganda Limited. Beside it in the corner we walinga offices ze. Bino yemwagambanga nti showman $2,200 ogula ticket wali na kusortinga out. In fact, they should have begun the first Forex Bureau. Kubanga baadiringanga dollars. Anti Naalongo baali bagagga. Naye nga baali tebasa taata wange. Of course, my dad was super rich. Chanda yali mugagga nnyo. My dad alina shares mu Lake Victoria, bottling company, mahoteli, manufacturing, bamulwana bonna. Show money, mugenda ku embassy okufuna visa. Nga Naalongo alina engeri gyakibalamu era sente zakomangawo. Nakolera tiketi era generation y'Abannayuganda esooka okujja eranda ne bonna babuuze Naalongo owa British Airways yalina travel agent anti Naalongo ati ebintu bye mbabuulira temujja bisanga nti biri rooted somewhere. These were things that were happening as Kampala was unfolding. We are in the 80s or in the 70s. Bana byatandika okukyuka mu 90s. kyenayita hostile takeover nti the businesses in place kakati ngenda babulya the first forex bureau mwami Bomboka owe Muyenga who owned that whole hill of Muyenga kyebamukola. Yes, Mr. Bomboka yayinanga Benz 190 yawetikana ku nnyonyi kuva West German nawe Bomboka the son maybe twasoma fena from Oliver to senior 6. So awo ku Entebbe Road bagiyitanga Express Forex Bureau. What was that Forex Bureau? The first, then Sebagala opened up as well. Then Orient. Things that was liberalization. Bank of Uganda are issuing dollars. That would explain the Chibanda boys, the rise of the Chibanda. Bakoja wange. Mumanye what the Chibanda boys, Japan, I will give you the full expose. How the Chibanda boys shaped the economy of Uganda or of Kampala. Muloke mutegere byenjogerako. Economy ya Uganda nga byali etandise okukyuka. Kati bwe balolesanga ssente na zino okunyumunguzibwamu window 2 bwe bakiyitanga. Nze nkijjukira bulungi nnyo mu 80s. Era yasayininganga ssente ezo yalinga Uncle Paulo Mwanga. Yali vice president issuinganga bannange. Era ssente bwe zaafulumanga ng'olaba you could see. Kati n'abagamba nti lwaki temukola window 2 you could sell the money again at another interest and make a percentage. Tebaayitanga government regulation. Checks and balances. Yeah, boss. Are we good? Tuvudde ku bya kusoma. Je m'appelle Patrick. Qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est moi. Il est 12, comment ça va? That is all French. It's a nice language, French. You speak French, it's the language of love. Embos tebakadde ate ebiseera ebisinga people never pay attention to what happens and to what happened. So when my mom retired in 1985, she retires at the high. She was given a send-off retirement. Bamwa buses steer. 2 buses, Uganda Development Corporation. Ngazali ku import in the Obote government. Motoka bya IFA. Mubijuka motoka bya amaje. They had given Uganda a old stock. Post Second World War. Bya amaje, I mean, whatever. Neyo bigundi. Byava Austria. Irezo basi zituke Uganda towards 89. When Jacob Bote, there was a state of government in 85, 86, 87. Blah blah blah. But of course, the donations were in transit. So when they arrived, my dad also got tractors. Kufamu ya feka kiri. Bafuna tractors. Steer tractors and then that would explain how my mom went into transport. Now we have bus ngabibuguma bibasi ngabikuba engine. Hey, bona babigula blanket transport bona babiguza nebe yabalema bus is too expensive. Ngaza winter. We are in the tropical climate and all that. So but she was given. That's 1992. That's when she cleared and received them. Nayo kayingira bus z'Abaganda iwasinga yeri offices nagendangayo mu offices za mami neneewunya engeri gyasobodde okujja mu Haswan bus eno n'alyoka asettinga up bukiosk awo nawonawona wakakokola biwangu. I'll give you that story as well, how my mom conquered downtown Kampala and made the killing. By the time she took ill, yali atansi byakuwola sente, money lender, interest. Era abawala abasooka okugenda Dubai, nkiddemu abawala abasooka okugenda Dubai bonna maama wange abalinako omukono bajjanga wa anti night. N'omukyalo mulala ku Lumu street awo Hanifa, edduka balitanga Hanifa on top okwalinga Uncle Jimmy Summit Saloon. Eyo saloon yali ya kibenyi, kyetegeeza nti abawala bonna nga beerenga. Saloon yali ku Lumu street waggulu tikyaliwo. Hey, ekyalinga waggulu eyo kanve wano Kampala mwe temugimanyi, njagibasomesa bulungi nnyo. Njabasomesa Kampala. Uncle Jimmy Summit Saloon, nti nkola mu saloon. Guliriddamu omulimu ogwo guba gwa bwenzi. Hanifa mukyala alina wano London. Anti Hanifa whatever.